Don't worry. I know what the alien's like.
Well, I finally did it. I finally finished my Halo Assault Rifle build that I've always wanted to build. I know I built a really crappy MA5D out of a Beretta CX4 before. And oh, first of all, welcome. And for those of you that haven't seen my videos, I like to build random things, and I did build a Halo Assault Rifle. It's not very good. It's out of a Beretta CX4, and it's 9mm, only holds 15 rounds, and overall just, I don't know, kind of crappy. It works, but I was never happy with it, so I was like, I'm gonna build a better one. It's gonna be much closer in function and form to the real Halo Assault Rifle. And 2 years ago, I made an update video saying that I would make a build, you know, like I would be like one of those cool let's build, or very inspired by channels like the Hacksmith or Michael Reeves. Really, I like to think of myself as way less skilled, but way more lethal. I don't know if that's a good scale to go by, but... And I really want to make videos like this. So I want to make like, hey, I want to show you guys how I built this. But unfortunately, this took so long and so many things happened in my life. I moved twice, I went overseas, I came back, I got promoted, got a new job. Yeah, like it's just on and off. But the whole time I've been working on this Halo Assault Rifle in the back burner. And I wish I'd gotten done earlier so I could get it in time for, you know, the Halo Infinite reveal, so I can get that sweet monetization money. But it doesn't really matter because YouTube hates guns and it hates me, so, you know, doing modification on guns is apparently super non-ad friendly, so I'm just gonna swear a bunch starting now on, so fuck them. Anyways, enough filibuster, let's get to the main course. So here it is. Halo Assault Rifle. Like I said, this is the Halo Assault Rifle, specifically modeled after the MA5D, which is, I believe, the one used in Halo 4 and 5. I took a lot of design from all of the Halo Assault Rifles. There's a little bit of all of them in there, but like the flash hider, that's a MA5D feature, and having the sight and like kind of like interchangeable optic, that's a Halo 5 thing, because in Halo 5 you can put a red dot, you can put a scope, you can even put a bayonet, I think, on all your guns. And little detail in here and there. Like I said, mostly modeled after the MA5D. It's also not a perfect replica because I still had the constraints of working around a Kel-Tec CMR30. It is a CMR30 and it does work. In fact, it works so well, I got kicked out of a range. I brought it to a range and they did not like me. They did not like this at all. And I'll show you why. There we go.
Over here. did you reload the Glock? You keep shooting the Glock if you want. No, seriously. Yeah, you can turn on the laser.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it works pretty fucking well. Before you go keyboard commando on me and start typing, oh my god, that's illegal, it's full auto, blah blah blah, call the ATF, shoot your dog, whatever. Wow, that's weird. Ugh, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, so before you call the ATF, this is fully, well, this is semi-automatic still. And I'll prove it. I'll show you how. And also I'll show you how it works while trying to explain. Alright, let me show you how this actually works. Kel-Tec CMR, right? Here's the actual body. So if you know how the Kel-Tec CMR works, it's actually more like a pistol. So the magazine goes inside the pistol grip, right? But in this case, I moved everything back. And right here, this trigger, or this trigger and this grip isn't actually the CMR30, because the CMR30 is around right here. So what's over here is let me take this off, pop the pin, and then slowly, carefully, I should not have put the battery in the back. Carefully take the battery out. There it is, right here. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see in there, but that is an airsoft gearbox. So the way this works, here, actually, let me move this over closer so I can get a better shot of the camera. Okay, so focus. All right, cool. You see right here, that is an airsoft gearbox with a push pin in the back, or an actuator, trigger, whatever you want to call it. And here is a God, it's not focusing. It's not focusing. Okay, manual focus. There we go. All right, here is a arcade style toggle switch, very lightweight. Basically the ones you'd see at an arcade panel, arcade cabinet. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Arcade cabinet, and they super lightweight. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's basically like clicking a mouse, right? Because it's just, there's nothing to it. No trigger, barely any travel. The click is simply just the spring returning it back, but actually the moment you basically touch it, it makes contact. So inside here, behind here, you can't kind of see it, but I'll see if I have a clip showing you. Inside here, there is a Arduino, well, a Chinese knockoff Arduino, and that's actually the fire unit, fire control. It's got some codes to run the trigger, so let me turn it on. Which way does it go? It goes this way, I think. Yeah. So right now, ooh. Okay. Now if you can see, there's a red light in there. That means it's on. Okay. The Arduino's on, and ARM by itself does nothing. It does run the code, but nothing's happening because the gearbox isn't powered. And yes, this gun requires batteries to run. At a minimum, you need 2 batteries just to run the gun. So here we go, and if you plug this airsoft battery in, let's see right here, it's hard to do it with one hand, but am I putting it right? Yep, there we go. Okay, now when I press the button, you see that? Here, let me. So when you actuate the switch, it runs it once, and all it does is it basically hits the actual trigger of the CMR, and that sets off the bulb, and then the rest is just regular. And the reason I did this is because all you're doing is basically, like I mentioned, you're just hitting a switch. You're just clicking a mouse, and you can click it super fast. You know, like people playing Call of Duty or whatever video games, you can click super fast. You get accused of, like, it's basically like having a modded controller and using the FAL, and people, you know, get mad at you for, that's full auto. Yeah, actually, it's basically literally the no full auto indoor video, but IRL with a real gun.
I'm not full auto. It's not full auto. That's not full auto. This is. That's full auto.
Damn, bro. Okay.
But it's still fully legal, like a semi-auto, because when I press the trigger once, it's only gonna actuate it once. See? Yeah. No full auto here. So ATF, please don't come raid me. And yeah. Man, I did a piss poor job painting this and cleaning this. Probably could have spent a lot more time. Look at that terrible paint job, and didn't even finish sanding it, but whatever. Overall, at a glance, looks great. But when you look close up, there's some exposed wire there. What is that? I don't even know. Oh yeah, I had to move the charging handle because the original, is this in focus? I hope it's in focus, whatever. Because the original charging handle goes right here, and it just doesn't look and feel right, because ultimately it's about how cool and how good it looks. So I had to use some erector, hobby set, whatever things, and then build my own custom charging handle. And now it operates like the real thing. Oh, it's also non-reciprocating, so it won't smash you in the face. Yeah, that's basically the guts of it. Honestly, I had the trigger system and the firing mechanism figured out pretty much as soon as I started the project. I knew I was gonna use a electronic trigger. Well, I knew I was gonna make it a bullpup, right? And most bullpup uses a linkage, so like a mechanical linkage. Either it's gonna be like a push bar, or sometimes they'll use some sort of like pulley or whatever. I've seen it all, but no one has really made an electronic bullpup. Now that doesn't mean electronic triggers don't exist, because I can't take credit for this. I might be the first person to use an airsoft gearbox in this manner, but electronic triggers has been around for a while now, I believe. There's definitely patents either way, electronic triggers. There's one I think you can buy for an AR-15, and it's honestly just an AR-15 trigger, and you just replace your trigger and you have a super lightweight and easy to use electronic trigger. Yeah, like I said, it gets over the physical limitations of making a safe and reliable mechanical trigger. Because as good as Geisley's are, well, you know, it's still mechanical, so it still has those limitations. Whereas this, like I said, it's literally a modded controller, or not a modded controller, but it's as fast as you can click, right? Like anyone can be Jared Mitchell with this, because you're just clicking a mouse, and you can click a mouse pretty damn fast. Anyways, that's how the trigger works. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. So, if you're paying attention in the beginning of the video, I didn't expect to put a clip in the beginning, because I was kind of gonna let it slow burn, but then I realized a lot of people would leave the video if I slow burned it, so I put kind of that teaser clip in the beginning. But in that beginning, you can see the shot counter actually works. It is a fully functional, so it's super jank. If you focus on this part, I'll show you a close-up later, but there's wires everywhere. It's also another Arduino, another Chinese knockoff Arduino, a 9-volt battery. So this gun actually takes 3 batteries to fully function. 9 volt to power the shot counter, and another 9 volt to power on the fire control system. I like to call it a fire control system. It sounds cool. It reminds me of Armored Core. And one to actually drive the gearbox in the back. Anyways, so yeah. Now, how does it work? I'm not an expert. I didn't go to school for electrical engineering, and this took me, first of all, it took me like 3 or 4 months just to like study, research, figure out what the hell I'm doing with all these electronics. And you know, like the 7-segment display, I thought it'd be easy. I thought it'd be like, hey, just get a little screen, you know, run some code in it. No, 7-segment displays are a pain in the ass to get working. You need like each pin, each segment needs its own wire and its own. Let me show you. Let me show you what I had to do. So this is the prototype right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the prototype, and that's all the wires I had to figure out just to get 2 digits. And I stole a bunch of code. I had to cannibalize a bunch of codes because, like I said, I didn't go to school for, like, I tried to go to school for mechanical and electrical engineering, computer science, and I flunked out of it, so I have an art degree. Yeah, my parents don't talk to me. Anyways, usefulness of art degree aside, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is way over my head, but luckily I was able to cannibalize a bunch of code and eventually got it to work. So, if I plug it in, do I have a power source? Let me show you. So, I don't know if this is actually going to power it. But normally it takes a 9 volt, but it should maybe? Oh hey, look, it has enough power. So if I click it, see, every click, it goes down by 1. So all I had to do was take another 2-3 months to try to figure out how to get this into a form factor that would fit up here. And okay, this is starting to get annoying. Getting that to all fit here was an absolute pain in the ass. So I could link it up to the trigger, right? But I didn't know where or how I was gonna run the wire, and even then I would still need another Arduino because I wasn't good. If I was good, I could probably make everything run off one Arduino, but I'm not good, so I had to use another one, separate power source, and what I ended up doing was making a mechanical linkage to the bolt. So I actually cut a little hole and then stuck the flapper or the actuator arm of it into the bolt. So when I pull, so imagine, right, you know, you'll load a mag, 30 rounds in the magazine, fully loaded, and then when you cycle, every time it goes back, it hits the switch, and there you go, one down. So yeah, and then it just keeps going down. Keeps going down all the way until it gets to 0, and at 0 it cycles back. So unfortunately, the CMR is not exactly the most reliable gun. On 30 rounds, it tends to jam. The magazine tends to jam. The gun itself is pretty reliable, but the magazines themselves are eh. So 30 is nice, but realistically, I think I'm gonna tone it down to 25 and only load 25 rounds in the magazine, because that tends to run a lot more reliably and consistently. So, and I can update it just like I can update the trigger. I plug my laptop into this Arduino, then I can set this shot counter to be whatever I want, whether I want to start from 10, 15, 20, 30, or even count up or whatever. I should be able to make it count up. All right, enough talking. I think I've bored you long enough, so I know why you're really here. You're here to see a assault rifle in action. Luckily, I have a lot of clips of it in action, so I'm just gonna roll this real soon. Some of the clips are when it was work in progress, so you can kind of see where I, you know, the progression of how I came to be, you know, like the little pieces and bits that, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna roll the fucking clips. Oh, one last thing. So one of the greatest advantage of using a electronic trigger, and I didn't even think about this when I made it, was that it's super consistent. So, because everything is programmed, right? Like everything has to run in its proper form, place. Basically what I'm trying to say is the cyclic rate is very, very set, because when I hit the switch, you know, it's gonna go through the routine, and it's gonna feed the signal to the Arduino. The Arduino is gonna feed power, switch power to the MOSFET. The MOSFET is gonna take power from the battery to drive the motor. The motor is gonna run for one cycle, in which case it's gonna move the rod once back. And all that is timed. So no matter what I do, I can't go any faster or slower than that. And what that means is when I pull, basically, I can't oversample it, right? So if you watch people that shoot really fast, like Jerry Michalik, right? His shots aren't exactly consistent because he's pulling it as fast as he can. Whereas, like, no matter how fast I pull, as long as I hit the perfect timing, it will always go at the same cyclic rate. And basically, all I'm trying to say is it sounds very consistent and it sounds great. Now, another thing I could do, and I've kind of been playing around with it, is since I use button state for my switch, you know, button state on, off, I could actually program it to go binary. So the plan in the future, if I ever get around to programming, I've built a rocker switch on the bottom of the trigger that does nothing right now. I modeled it after the P90 style safety on the bottom of the trigger, and the whole idea was that I can actually have safety and also a selector. So it'll go safe, and then semi and binary. So but that's in the future. Speaking of safety, the gun uses the original safety, so you have to, it's ambidextrous, well, not ambidextrous, but it's on both sides. So the safety, red for fire, black is safe, so, and it goes on both sides. So that's the safety. Anyways, yeah, enjoy the clips. One shot, see if it works. So I've tested it. Oh my god, it works. Oh my god. Oh my god, it works. Okay. 20 shots. And I'm out. How do I know? Because it's down to 15. Haha! Well, that's all I got for you. One last thing, the flashlight I forgot to mention. So this is just kind of a cheap pistol flashlight that I, round mounted pistol flashlight that I got off, I don't remember where, but anyways, I put the control on the left side. So the first button is momentary. So you press once, you hold it, pretty simple. And second switch right here that I've colored green because it's cool. Toggle, so it leaves your hand free to do whatever you want, like fending off the flood in library, because I hate that level. And you swap the battery in the front, so just unscrew it, and you can just put one CR123 battery. So At least it's better than the one in the game, because, you know, it lasts more than 15 seconds. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, like how I did certain things, or if you want to build one yourself, or if you're looking for ideas, or, you know, kind of like how I solved the problems, and you just want some tips, or, wow, I don't want to say tips and tricks, but like it's a video game. But anyways, if you have a question, just leave it in the comment below, or just let me know what you think about it. Keep in mind though, I do realize that this isn't exactly a movie prop or cosplay accurate quality. There's a lot I could work on, but at least it's functional, okay? At least it goes pew pew for reals. So that's already better than what I can say about Garand Thumb. At least it's better than that shitter. I don't have to use CGI to pretend to go pew pew, alright? It actually goes pew pew. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Oh man, I can already hear the angry fanboys typing. You know, this project has been such a long time coming that now that I'm done, I'm feeling a little sad. I mean, I'm happy, but it's also like, wow, I've been doing this for so long, and oh, it's been such a money sink too. Oh my god. I wish we were sponsored. Caltech, cause. And yeah, I don't know what to do next. I guess continue to build Halo guns. I'm probably gonna build another SMG if I ever get the chance. If I can buy another CP33, but that's fun because I've already built one. What should I do next?
No! God, please, no! No!